A leaked memo from the Center for American Progress claims that Dreamers are critical to the future success of the Democratic Party. This confirms many suspicions about the true intention behind the Democrats' prioritization of a new DACA deal above all else. Most people would be willing to admit that Democrats are focusing all of their energy and momentum encouraging illegal immigration in order to inflate their voter base. The reason for this is simple and, to be frank, insidious. Instead of changing their policy to fit the views of the people they want to represent, they seek to create a separate class of people in order to ensure their vote by making them dependent on that party's policies. This might not seem like a big deal, but the Center for American Progress is a very influential group that has a lot of pull within the Democratic Party. This party has shown over the years, and now they couldn't make it any more clear, that they have no intention on serving the interests of the people that elected them. This party has gone rogue, is disregarding the law as well as the very people they are legally bound to serve. There is a part of this memo that sticks out, but if you would like to read the full thing, a link to it is below in the description. An excerpt from the memo, co-written by former Clinton Communications Director Jennifer Palmieri, reads as follows. The fight to protect Dreamers is not only a moral imperative, it is also a critical component of the Democratic Party's future electoral success. Donald Trump and the Republican Party continue to jeopardize the futures of millions of Dreamers and their families and throw up roadblocks to meaningful legislative reform, and it is up to Democrats to stand up for them. This is, of course, according to the regressive organization known as the Center for American Progress. If you are unfamiliar, the Center for American Progress is a liberal activist organization founded by John Podesta and funded by George Soros. You know, that guy's name just keeps coming up over and over again these past few months. So what does this memo tell us? This memo confirms that the future of the Democratic Party and the regressive left is to replace their constituents with people that depend on their social programs in order to ensure their dedicated voting. That is why they have pushed so hard on mass immigration from third world countries. Immigrants from first world countries would not need to rely on government benefits, and I think this is the reason primarily poor people are being flooded into the country in mass numbers. And if you disapprove of this, they throw a bunch of emotional arguments right in your face about the meaning of America and how we're just supposed to have pretty much no borders. That's what the end game is, by the way. Another reason regressive leftists make mass immigration the top of their priorities is the cheap labor, which is used by businesses, frankly, politicians, corporate donors, to circumvent national, state, labor, and immigration laws. Ever wonder why politicians are millionaires despite having fixed income that is nowhere close to the millions? This is why. The same organization that used to pretend to stand for the worker is now championing cheap labor, and then telling them it's better for the worker. Did you see how angry the upper class was after that tax bill passed, by the way? Nancy Pelosi, for one, calls the bonuses that have been announced by places like Walmart and Waste Management merely crumbs, as someone like her does not understand how relieving thousands of dollars can be to a working class family. Here, we are witnessing the free market willingly paying their employees more money without the government attempting to force their hand with a minimum wage increase. Minimum wage increases only cause inflation to go up more than the increase of wage compensates for. Right now, I am witnessing trickle-down economics work, and it is not failing in the way that I have been told it would, over and over again throughout my life. Well, that wasn't real trickle-down theory. All joking aside, businesses willingly paying their employees more increases morale and dedication of their workers. These politicians, these Pelosi's and Schumers, they're out of touch with the people they have pretended to champion for decades. They have kept themselves busy relentlessly pursuing immigration amnesty in order to ensure their victory in elections for years to come. They do not care for improving the living conditions of those Americans affected by their policies, or represented by their policies for that matter. They do not care about creating more jobs, but are more concerned with finding new employees that are willing to work for under minimum wage under the table without filing taxes in April. They will claim that illegals pay taxes, but only sales tax if they shop at a store, which would be difficult to work around. What they don't do is file taxes, as is required if you are a citizen, and claim the money that they have generated. Hiring people who have no documents leaves so many open doors for these people to be exploited by opportunistic politicians and businessmen. I'll end this video with a hypothetical question. If everyone leaves Mexico to become illegal immigrants in America, then who is going to make Mexico great again? I think most people would agree that there is a lot of corruption with politicians and with the drug cartel's influence on those politicians. But if everyone leaves Mexico, who's going to make Mexico a first world country like it deserves?